Hello, wherever, whenever, and whoever you are. Bam, and welcome to another edition of Wolf King's Vids. Okay, it seems that the science show Cosmos is really making a lot of creation tards butthurt. Particularly this YouTube user, True Free Thinker, real name Mariano. His name is kind of a contradiction in that he's a creationist and he literally believes the Bible to be true. But he's made a video in regards to the show Cosmos. Apparently, it's trying to advocate atheism. I'm not sure what he means by that, but let's just hear some of it.
Human beings are still fish.
Human beings are fish?
Why, yes, of course they are.
I'm an ape.
Yeah.
Are you, Bishop?
I'm not. Definitely I'm not.
Well, I'm an ape. I'm an African ape.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to be an African ape.
Yeah.
And so should you.
You're a single son of annoyance that has crawled out of the primordial slime and just put on a bad shirt and like a cheap tie.
Good. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people.
You have great
Wow. I'm still gonna demolish this in a second.
reverence and awe for the universe. I'm wondering if you believe in God or a higher power of some form.
I've spoken with people who have had deep religious experiences, and there's a certain vocabulary that they draw from. They talk about majesty and being humbled and being awed. And I look at the universe and I'm using all their same vocabulary. And I feel sort of energized and lifted. I wonder if it's stimulating the same part of the brain. This is a question I've actually formally posed to neuroscientists to sort of check this out. These are the folks that have put electrodes in your brain and see what excites one region versus another. Every account of a higher power that I've seen described of all religions, okay, that I have seen, include many statements with regard to the benevolence of that higher power. And when I look at the universe and all the ways the universe wants to kill us, I find it hard to reconcile that with statements of beneficence. So personally, it's hard for me to make that connection. That being said, there's about 40% of American scientists pray to a personal God. So empirically, to be a scientist is not the same thing as to be an atheist. Empirically, because we have 40%. Now, depending on which scientific discipline you ask, that percent will be different, but it averages to 40. In the general American public, the number is up around 90. So there is a difference between the general public and scientists. But those scientists, just to make it clear, who are productive as scientists, are not getting their science out of the Bible. What Galileo noted 400 years ago, he was the first to really make this observation of things. He said, after careful study of the Bible and after careful study of the universe, he concluded the Bible tells you how to go to heaven, not how the heavens go.
Exactly. There's no... Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, so he wrote some bullshit here. Whatever. Okay. So yeah, but basically, I would have to agree with Dr. Tyson in that science is based off of physical evidence and reason logic, which you could actually understand from the regularities of the universe that we live in. And the Bible is based off of faith and revelation. So disregarding that would be necessary for scientific research to actually be done. But what you see here is basically just a matter of one, essentially sort of like a small community of creationists butthurt. But what you hear in the beginning where we start talking about like evolution, sort of like abiogenesis early on, it's really just an argument from incredulity. Apparently, oh, so we're apes, we're fish, we don't have any free will or anything like that, or some nonsense. It's really interesting that they want to use this argument from incredulity, this lack of imagination, but they're willing. They are willing to take on faith. Anything in the Bible says is true. I mean, DNA and carbon dating demonstrate that all life has been evolving for millions of years, and that the Earth is billions of years old. Okay, that's science. That's empirical scientific data. The Bible says that we were created from dust and ribs, and that somehow two humans produced the billions of human beings on this planet, but somehow Noah's Ark is actually true too. Go watch the movie. It's based on a real story. Yeah. I don't think I really don't think you guys have the monopoly on what's rational. That there's a significant difference in terms of these ways of looking at the world. One actually has the predictive power to build civilization, to actually provide technological advances for humanity, and we all know that to be physical evidence, reason, logic, the core of the scientific method, as well as reason and sensory experience. Religion, the only thing it could actually do is when it sees a show like this, out of the millions of religious shows and televangelists out there talking about they want money to promote Jesus' word, what you see is the fundamentalists on the Christian side trying to undermine education and hence retard its potential, so their religion could be seen as more serious or taken serious in the modern world. Now, this is basically done through efforts like trying to endorse creationism in schools, for example, which is never going to be done outside of the small efforts that are seriously considered unconstitutional. However, the problem with this is the main premise of the show is not to encourage atheism, but science and education, and getting more younger people specifically to be interested about the universe they live in and how they can understand it through rationality and empiricism. Now, if atheism is a byproduct of that, that's just the way it is. And the main problem about this is over 50% of the U.S. economy is based on science and technology. So how is the next generation going to actually make innovations and advances to help improve the human condition if you got these right wingers and religious fundamentalists talking about they don't want to learn about evolutionary theory and what's going to be the next X vaccine to cure people, because we got rid of polio in India. We did that through science, not with faith or prayer or any crap like that. And we gotta focus on the earth and how it's actually warming up through climate change. But once again, that's inconsistent with the Bible. I don't see that like anywhere in here, so it must not be true. Even though it's warming up, there's crazy weather. The polar ice caps are melting. I don't see it. It's not my faith. I don't accept any empirical evidence for anything that's not in my Bible. See, it's this bubble. It's this bubble, and it's so contradictory that they want to talk about like free thought as if they have any connection to that philosophy whatsoever. They don't. It's maddening. They pine for this dark age world where where God was at the head of the government, where anyone who was skeptical about asking empirical questions about the universe, they were either locked up forever or burned at the stake. Where disease was apparently thought to be brought about by wickedness or by Jews, and where the Earth, out of this infinite, vast universe that we live in, which is awesome and cool to understand only imperfectly with science, that apparently out of this infinite universe with billions of stars, millions of galaxies, like there's a small planet that's so significant that we have a geocentric view of it. Except Galileo recognized that it was a heliocentric view. But this is actually what we actually focus on, okay? How we advance the human condition, and the only way to do that is to focus on what science, rationality, and empiricism could actually get us in order to advance in the next step in human evolution and progress in general. So I say to true free thinker, dude, actually get out this little Christian bubble you're in and focus on the infinite universe that you're in, that you're actually living in, okay? Because the universe is so big and so infinite and more awe-inspiring and amazing. It's so many things that's almost indescribable, that your God is way too small and it's holding you back from actually understanding the awesome power that we're actually part of. And that's reality. All right, this has been Wolf King. Peace out. Dare to know.